So I'm filming this about a day after coming back and seeing the movie. I had a very busy day, and I just was too tired and too drunk to do a proper review of it. But I did do a smart thing and write a shit ton of stuff I noticed. So, I just want to say one thing before I begin. That came back to kick me in the ass because during the stream, during the movie, I got tapped on the shoulder and it was one of the ushers, and she said, "Sorry, sir, you have to turn off your phone." And I'm like, "Oh, right, yeah, fair enough." So I turned it off. Then shit happened on screen, and right, fan fucking tastic. So, Creed 2. What can I say about it other than, yeah, I'd give it a 60. Bye. no, no, seriously. If you want to know my opinion, uh, that's it. 60. It's not as good as the first. Um, but what details do I have? Well, children. Oh my God, I look like shits. Let's do this. Let's do this like a nudist. All right. So the ads first. Let's go through the ads. 10 minutes of previews. Fucking hell. Was it even the previews? It was 10 minutes of previews and then about another 10 minutes of actual ads mixed in. And then during the previews, they threw a few ads in as well. Uh, Nothing important except there's an ad currently going around for a new electric car in Ireland, and it is, I don't know why exactly they're doing it, but they're showing this incredibly culty man with he's like a sheep farmer, and he's talking about how much he's saving money on his electric car. No, 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 that's not a real thing. Um, but there's oh, and if you can search Little Elf, Irish Little Elf, Lidl. I put him down as gay. If he's not gay, he's at least metrosexual and loving it. Okay, trailers. The Bumblebee trailer. John Cena's in it, and so is Soundwave. This makes it at least 5% stupid fun in my book. It's still a Transformers film though, so. Queen movie, already seen it, already did a review on it. Uh, Grimwald. I don't fucking care. Um, the Nutcracker film. Grandma. You'd probably go and see you take your nan to go and see that. And Aquaman, also known as Aqua Yawn, because yeah, boring as shit. Okay, with all now those are the trailers out of the way, and remember there were tons of ads throughout that. Let's start with including two for McDonald's that were the same ad, because Santa likes himself some carrots. That's why he's so fat. Okay, movie opens with Drogo and his son, and it was very minimalistic, very bleak. One thing I gotta say about this film, I know I have it down here, so I'll skip by it. The camera work is brilliant. It is very good camera work. The lighting, the some of the shots. Stallone either knows who to hire, or he just is. He's got a good eye for this shit. He's under estimated. Stallone is. He's a solid filmmaker. It's just because he has this, you sometimes think he's not the smartest, and because he's done a lot of action films. But, half the time he puts on that fucking lisp anyway. He just plays it up. Um, yeah, however, I'm going to say this. There was two scenes in it where the camera work was just atrocious. I don't know what was going on, particularly the lighting. It looked like something out of The Room, very briefly. No, not The Room, Birdemic. Just the way it was shot was very strange. Um, I thought the intro was pretty damn good, but I can't actually remember it now. I just wrote down good Rocky intro. I suppose it was a good way of introducing the film, yeah. But Adonis Creed is still good. When he is playing Adonis Creed, this guy is just brilliant. I think his character is very likable. But I gotta be honest, this movie does suffer from the same plotting as Rocky and 2 and 3, where you know he's being goaded to do shit, and everyone's telling him not to do it. Then he goes ahead and does it and gets his ass kicked. Then he has to bounce back. Oh, and this is spoiler heavy. You know this, right? Like, before I go any further, should have done that a few seconds ago. um, but they just go through the same motions as the previous one. Not the previous Creed, but the previous Rockies. And the problem with that is they already know what's going to happen. They even talk about it. Oh, we've been here before. You did. Should have never fought Drogo, but he fought Drogo. Blah, blah, blah. And then what's he do? He goes ahead and fights Drogo and gets his ass kicked. Wow, didn't see that coming. Um, the I think that's the biggest problem in this film, is that you know where it's going to go, which is a shame, because then while it doesn't uh, go any further than that, it could, because you can see hints of what it could have been. There are some scenes that show that, like, they know what the fuck they're doing. So why they go ahead and just rehash Old Same Water, it just makes no sense. Um, Paulie's dead at long last, but you know, and it's always sad. He has a little, Rocky always puts a little bottle of whiskey on his grave. I thought that was a neat little thing. Paulie was so useless by the later films. um, it's not very subtle. Like I said, it's kind of just doing the same, treading the same shit. Rocky 4's TV footage. Yeah, they often show there's a scene where Adonis is looking at his tablets at old footage of his dad beating the shit, getting himself beaten up by Drogo, right? Who shot that? Half half the time the way it's shot would not be how a movie would be shot. There's some really weird. If you go back and watch that fight where he fights Apollo, it's like, who would be shooting that? How would you be shooting that? But it's played up for like news footage. Uh, Rumble in the Jungle is the same universe as Rocky. What they mention that Rumble in the Jungle was needed a hype man, which it did. So Muhammad Ali is in the same universe as Rocky, because that's meta as fuck. That's one of those throwaway lines. They didn't really think it all the way through. There's a They don't mention him. They don't mention him at all. But um, this is really just in many ways the same thing that happened with Clubber Lang. The same that they should have remembered from Rocky 4. They should have also remembered shit from Rocky 3. Balanced breakfast. I know, you watch it and you get to a point where he's eating a balanced breakfast, and I guess. Oh yeah, a very well shot training montage. Uh, but terrible music they put for it. A lot of it is this slow R&B, not dubstep, but sort of club mix that for the music in this film, and it doesn't work. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hmm. Oh yeah. Like that, it doesn't hype it up. Do you remember the montage for Rocky Four? It was so hard. That was Hearts on Fire or something like that. Oh, that was brilliant. Probably the best montage, training montage ever. And this is a very well shot one. But what the fuck? I don't get it. Um, Apollo had better opening. Oh, when he does fight Drogo, Drogo's son is the one, by the way, who he's fighting, because of course he is. But he, when Apollo came down to fight um, Drogo, like all the he was dressed as Uncle Sam and what's it, James Brown, not James Brown. It might be James Brown. Yeah, it was. It was James Brown. He was doing the music and everything, and it was just like this over the top ridiculous thing. This guy, no, it's just this. He walks in and it's just all these sparkler lights and who fucking cares? This guy is meant to be the champion of like the heavyweight champion of the world. And he can't get a good opening. Um, the fights themselves, the bread and butter of the movies, they're pretty damn good. They're pretty damn good. There was a few scenes, there's a few punches that when he goes through, oof, like real oof, you know. Um, you wince, and it isn't the slow mo ones. The slow mo ones are just right. That's I've seen that before, but it's the fast paced ones. There's one or two shots that just floor people, and some ribs get broken. And oh, it is. Mm. Um, everyone blames Adonis blames Rocky at one point, just saying like you were there for me, but he knew better, I guess. But that's at least that doesn't last very long. Better time progression than Rocky Five. Yes. All right. Now, if anyone's seen Rocky Five, you'll know that at one scene there is a not one scene. There's this sort of question of between Rocky Four and Rocky Five, how much time has passed, and I think they address this because Adonis and his wife, the his girlfriend then wife, um, the DJ who's deaf, she gets pregnant, and you can kind of see how far time progresses by the way her belly grows. So it is over the course of say a year, so about a year, year and a half. But Rocky Five more or less starts a few weeks after Rocky Four, and yet his son is like a teenager at this. Rocky's son's a teenager at this point. So yeah, that makes no sense. Um, Drogo is at a party. Both Drogos are at a party, and I swear it's the Xavier Mansion. I don't know why they wanted to shoot in the Xavier Mansion, but okay. It's meant to be set in Russia. Um. Okay. Underwhelming at times. It was. It was. I didn't. The the fights were great, but the damage on their faces is not. They don't look fucked up enough. They don't look sweaty enough. They don't look wrecked enough. But it, instead they kind of look like they've maybe had the start of the fight after one or two hits. A little bit puffiness, a little bit sweat. Compare that to the other Rockies, and no, no, they should be absolutely destroyed. Uh, okay, the montage at the end, because it's a Creed gonna fight a Drogo. There has to be a big training montage. Like I said, the music was shit. The montage itself was good, but instead of being out in out in the winter wasteland, he's out in the desert wasteland. So he's fighting like it looks like he's fighting ex-cons and like training with ex-cons, and they're using old scrap metal to train with. At one point, he's at one point he's got this like bridle on his head, and he's got like these weights on either side of them. He's lifting it up, and it is ridiculous. You're just there like, this is going to make you stronger, I guess, but better boxing. There's only one of where it might be a better boxing, and they have to fight inside a tire. They can't leave the tire because they have to get really up close. That kind of makes sense, but look, this is this film is overall it is fine, but it is pretty bad in comparison to some of the others. Like I said, 60%. Go and see it if you've gone through everything else in the list, or you have a really big Rocky fan like I am. But I don't know if they're gonna make a third one. Also, I'd like to think that they will, and then that's it. No more Creed, no more Rocky. Just end it. But we'll see. Sorry about the sort of jumbled one this time around. But if you saw it yourself, pop down in the comments what you think about it. And I will be back tomorrow for the first of the two gaming streams. So expect to see me then soon.